Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Dragoon. My name's Cody, and in the last episode we have been exploring this area, which has a lot of secrets, a lot of interesting little things, and off screen I've made a couple of changes. First off, I went off and bought, that Mind Crush. I realized that I probably sold the weapon or whatever that and I've switched out the heat blade. I sort of wanted to show what the heat blade does, but it's actually not, it's not that useful because half of the enemies here are ground type, but I just wanted to show it off. The second thing that I've done is Meru has mastered her Cool Boogie edition, so I've switched back to a different one that still needs to be trained up. Luckily, that one does a lot more damage than Cool Boogie, which intentionally did like 0 damage. So we got this new helm, which, as you can see, it's sometimes it's hard to tell the stat differences, but you see magic defense was. Magic attack was at 42, this changes it to 30, but it increases, it's really hard to tell when each item here changes something. But basically it avoids bewitching, confusion, fear and dispiriting, which it's probably worth keeping this helm around, even if you're not necessarily going to use it now. There are a few parts in the game where all of the enemies have some kind of gimmick to them, and all of your characters end up being confused or dispirited or bewitched or whatever. It's a pain. Did you hear that? Did you hear the sounds of an exclamation mark followed by a question mark? Because I did. So yeah, we've got something's going on here. There's something that's been making noises. Some kind of perhaps boss creature that's been making noises here in this cave. And it is not a penguin with a sword, and it's not a Technicolor spider. It's neither of those things. So, also off screen, Meru and Rose have leveled up to Dragoon level 4. This just happens when you gather enough SP just from using your additions a bunch. There's nothing particularly special about Dragoon level 4. It basically means you get a bit more MP. Generally, Dragoon levels 1, 2, 3, and 5, which are all of the Dragoon levels. Dart's already maxed out in Dragoon level. Other levels where you get a new spell, and Dragoon level 4 just means you can spend 1 turn longer as a Dragoon, which is sort of like the in-between level. But it's still pretty nice. You can see we've got a solid team developing, especially with switching back to Hammer Spin. It's still not doing the level of damage that the other team members are doing, but it's still doing, like, that did around 150, which I'll show you Rose's. Like, Rose is really good at damage, did about 250. So it's not there yet, but it's also, that would have done about 60 before, so I'm glad to have any kind of improvement for Mary's damage. I was gonna go up here, but then I realized there is a treasure here, which is a fatal blizzard spell. By the way, I've got a lot of spells in my party at the moment. If what you're looking for is to cast a lot of item spells, your best bet is Miranda, who has the highest magic attack and magic defense in the game to compensate for being completely useless physically in a battle. So that's just something to note. I always go with, I don't show off Miranda because I always go with Meru as my replacement main caster, because you only really need one or the other. But Miranda, if what you want to do is spam a bunch of items and spam a bunch of magic, Miranda's the best. Miranda slash Shana is the best we have in our team for it. So here we go. This is an interesting fight. This is the Windigo. You can see it's got a weird heart thing, and it's got moving ribs, and it's really creepy looking. There's nothing stopping us from going Dragoon for once. The Grand Duel fight and the Divine Dragon fight both blocked off our Dragoon powers. Oh, I should have done the special with Dart actually. Now that I think of it, because of the elemental typings, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. But now finally we've got a boss fight where we can let loose. Unfortunately, we can't just use our lethal attack. At the moment, the best option for Rose here is just an attack. Rose has some sort of vampiric healing, as I'd call it, like doing damage and recovering health, and Mary has Rainbow Breath, which HP recovers and cures the status ailments of everyone. So that's why she's a good replacement to Miranda in your party. Yeah, so Mary's not going to be that useful even as a Dragoon here because of elemental differences. Or elemental similarities is probably the better term. This will deal half the damage that it would have against anyone else because of the water typing, but as you can see, the damage is drastically increased from non-Dragoon form Meru. Like, she is much more powerful in this form. Ow! It's very rude. So what we want to avoid is at some point this guy will... Don't just have like 2 moves in a row. At some point this guy will trap someone inside his little chest cavity thing. I believe what happens is if you try and physically attack him and then you lose a counter or something, that's where you get trapped in it. But we're going to avoid that. We're just going to murder him. Let's go, Dart. Look at that damage. Like, we rarely see damage above 1000. That might be the first time in the Let's Play. That's how pretty cool that is. Yeah, I don't show spells very often. Not because they're not good and not because I don't like them. It's just Let's Play considerations, honestly. Whenever Dart goes into one of those like magic sequences, it takes up like 30 seconds. But like occasionally we just want to let loose. We just want to let loose and show off some of our magic attacks, even if they're not particularly deadly to this Windigo. Yeah, the physical attack did more damage, just due to the stats of the enemy. But this Windigo, you can see it's still in the blue. At this point in the fight, the Divine Dragon would have been in the yellow. But the Divine Dragon is also almost dead, as Lloyd reminded us. Alright, so look at this. Look at this guy. He's taking... Oh, I messed that up. He's taking a lot of damage, and he's not looking like he's gonna be healing over just yet. A lot of that, I think, is... Oh. What's going on here? What are you doing? Oh, it's like a fatal blizzard or whatever this is. It didn't do much, because we're all Dragoons. So, a lot of that, I believe, is that his heart, I think, is his weak point. And, oh jeez, I was way off in my additions there. I don't usually only get 2 in my... that's really bad. I should pay more attention. I think his weakness is his heart, which only gets made available when he gets when we release someone from his grasp, when he grabs someone and then something goes wrong and then we let him loose and then the heart is available for a second. But I'm happy to just beat up on him anyway. Alright, let's finish this Windigo. I'm not gonna take this to another episode if I can finish this in the next couple of minutes. Oh wow, what am I doing? What am I doing with my Dragoon editions? I've just been... My timing is just slightly off on all of them at the moment, but that's fine. It's gonna go down. As you can see, here we go. So Rose finally got made vulnerable. Everyone watch out, it might hit us. Rose finally got made vulnerable by not being a Dragoon, so what it's done is it's done its little ribcage thing, which is a pain. And now if we attack the Windigo, I believe it will damage Rose. So what we want to do is want to take out the little friends here before we do anything else. Parts. I wanted to use the Red-Eyed Dragon, but I realize it's not good. I don't want to like one-hit KO Rose, but I also rarely get the chance to use my final move and have it mean something meaningful. Alright, so we've just got this little snow cannon. Let's take out the snow cannon. This should take it out. Yeah, there we go. If I had my counting correct, this makes him release Rose, and what that means is that the heart is now vulnerable. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use speed up on Meru, because Meru is our strongest magic user at the moment. Meru is going to use some let's see, what would be best. We don't have any fire. Oh no, we do. We have gushing magma, which is an all attack. But still, that's pretty good for us. So we're going to use an item for... I have to mash buttons here. So you can see that did 500 damage to the Windigo and 1 damage to the heart. I think the heart can only take 1 damage at any given time. Oh, you're getting feisty, aren't you? So yeah, the heart has disappeared again now that it's taking damage. That's alright. We'll finish this in the next episode. I'll see you then.